Hey everybody, what's up? Don Carr here with Colt Westbrook.
Hi.
What's up,
That's
Colt?
me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
Colt.
you.
Yeah. Hey.
And today it's what's on your pedal board.
Yeah.
And man, always exciting to see someone who builds pedals for a living.
Yeah.
What is on your pedal board?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? Where's the best place?
Man, the best, where does the guitar go in?
So that's a good. So I'm using a pedal train. I don't know the exact model, but I call it pedal train big.
Yeah, the big boy. Okay.
And then so the you say power?
Sure, power. Let's start with
yeah,
power.
so we got this BTPA add-on from BTPA. They make these cool pedal train interfaces, and so you can. I've got 2 ins, 2 outs for stereo. I've got this cool PowerCon connector.
Oh,
and honestly, I wish I could say that that was my idea, but it just kind of it shipped with it. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm like a PowerCon guy now, you know. And so there's 2 ins for this one. We're just using 1 today, but sometimes I like to play lap steel and run it through the same effect chain. And so if I'm doing lap, I can just roll the volume off and keep them both kind of going through the same pedal board and then through the amps. So
nice. And interface, man. Interface is
they're
great.
cool, dude.
Yeah.
They're cool, you know.
Yeah,
they look
I
a little
agree.
pretentious, but yeah.
Cleans everything up though,
It
right?
sure
I mean, that's
does.
the thing, man.
Yeah.
And look at this, you're so tidy. I mean, not like we're surprised, but you know.
Listen, I'm not. I have built so many pedal boards, and it's kind of one of those things where it happens right before you play a gig. You're like, I'm just gonna rearrange a pedal board, and then you put the kids down, and then you start redoing things, and then he's like, oh, I'll just watch a movie while I'm doing it, and then all of a sudden you're watching 2 movies because it's taking so long. So
Yeah.
I actually had a guy at Walrus build my pedal board for me. So I was like, listen, I just can't do it anymore. I'm so tired of building pedal boards.
Man.
Plus, he does it way better. It's super tidy. Mine,
Yeah.
you know, mine looks like a college dorm room if I set it up, but this looks like a Fortune 500 setup. You
Yeah,
know, he's
exactly.
really good at it.
So pro.
So that's the ins, the outs.
Okay.
I'm running through. I'm using this switcher here from Daniel at Gig Rig, and then before anything hits the switcher though, I've got my compressor out of the loop, and I've got this. Oh no, this is in the loop. I think I've got the compressor, and I've got EQ from the EB10 here before the loop. So
Nice.
you just able to compressor on. So just and I've got the side chain on, so it's the compression's only being applied to the mid and high frequencies, so it's leaving out the lows, which it just keeps a little bit of drama intact, you know, whenever things are getting real hairy and aggressive, you know.
Yeah, you want that.
It's
yeah.
you know, it can, so it stays out of the compressor and hits the amp the way you want it to. So, and EQ is probably my favorite effect. I know I've been on video and I've said tremolo is recently, but my other favorite effect is EQ. EQ is so powerful, you know?
It really is. It can it can change the entire spectrum, the whole shape of everything. Man.
So here's no EQ. And then here's my EQ back on. Well, sounds good, right?
Yeah, sounds great, dude.
Now I'm playing guitar in front of Don. That's great, you know? I've been thinking about this for days.
get
Is this
outta
really
here,
going to
man.
suck? Let's get it over with.
Sounded great, man.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke, you guys. Video team's if you're not seeing, the video team is laughing hysterically at all these jokes.
As they do.
Yeah. Okay, so next I have the Digitech Drop. I need to buy like 3 of these in case they go out of production. I don't think they're going to go out of production, but just in case they do, because I use it all the time. So like if we're playing an E, you know, and you can get some cool stuff like in E form, and but sometimes, you know, like sometimes I just run out of ideas. So what the Digitech Drop can do, say, you know, you set it right here, you can go. Each number is a half step down. So if I want to play, if I'm still in E, but I want to play like in G form, I can kick it on. So, you know, but then I want to play in E but in G. And it kind of gives that, like, you know, kind of a baritone kind of sound.
Yeah.
That I really like, and you can just. Did you guys think Chris Stapleton was here? Because he's not. It's me. Yeah. Sorry.
It's you in the drop. No.
Yeah.
But, so it's like a reverse capo.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are gonna say, oh, but like latency and stuff, and like I can't use it because it like bothers my ears, like the attack, and I can't hear it. I don't have a lot of latency issues, and maybe it's because I'm dumb. I've had a lot of success with this live, and I've used it in the studio before too. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, don't tell my mom.
There you go.
Sometimes I do. So next I got the attack decay, and so that's kind of like a Boss slow gear. That's cool if it's just like you just need like a different texture.
Yeah.
Like if you just want to kick like, if you want some bends and. I love it. I don't use it very often because, you know, it's one of those.
It's
like,
super effecty, but it's really great when you click it on, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm a big fan of that. You know, 'cause the Boss slow gears are, you know, they're like $600, and I'm not dropping $600. So this is one of the first overdrives I ever bought at in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Nice.
At Daddy-O's.
Nice.
Bought it with my paper route money. And I think it was like $40 back then. Yeah, super compressed and, you know, noisy.
That's
it's
classic.
It's cool.
Though,
I love it.
God, yeah, the Nobels is just like that's just one of those classic tones, man.
It really is. I'm surprised I don't see like a whole bunch more of them, but you know, it's one of those pedals that sounds all right and cool, like when it's just you alone. But man, you're playing with bass and drums, you're playing with people, and you kick it on, and it just kind of fits in the band. Like it becomes like another band member. It becomes alive when you start playing with people.
And it does. It really like helps you fit in the mix better. That's why a lot of guys in Nashville use it, just for that very reason, because it's like you just click on it, it's like, oh, it works.
Yeah, it's like organic and alive, and And I swap and I have the Walrus Ages here. It's like a little cleaner, just to add like another stage whenever it's time to shred. You know, I kick it on, or if, you know, obviously if the band is quiet, you know. Like it's still pretty aggressive. So the A just kind of gives me that drive texture. Whenever you just want to like chill out a little bit. You get it.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Just a touch.
And then so after that, I got and listen, you're gonna see me use this thing, and I'm using it for like 10%. I'm using it like 10% of what its capability is.
Yeah.
So the reason I have this is because it's one of the only switchers that has 3 stereo ins and outs. And so I'm using stereo chorus, stereo delay, and stereo reverb. And so it's hard to find a switcher that has 3. I think Cusack makes one, and Daniel at Gigrig makes one. And they're both really great. But Daniel was first in my email, so I bought one from him. And so kicking on the Monument. I just have it for extra texture. It's on a real chewy setting right now.
Man, the harmonic though, I'm so with you on that.
Yeah, I'm on 16th notes, but really the money I think is at on thirds. And if you're playing slide or something like that, you just have like a little lead line, and you don't want to feel so naked. I mean, it's just it's a nice effect to just add on just real gently and lightly.
Yeah.
Just gives that pro touch that I really like. Yeah.
No, but I mean, seriously, it adds a little extra motion without you having to work for it so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's great. I love I love harmonic tremolo.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you.
And then it has the standard setting if you just want to kick on just normal trim. Cool.
Yeah.
Juliana, I'm running it in stereo, and so on the Juliana, you've got the DCV knob there.
Right.
So dry in the middle, this is dry, and the chorus is here, and then this is all vibrato. So, but if you're running in stereo and you run it dry, so on the right side is the affected signal, and then on the left side is the dry signal. So if you're running in stereo, you get the stereo chorus.
Where you get the true
sound, yeah. And I leave this always. I leave it on all the time. So
no kidding.
It's always on. All the time. So maybe that's selfish. Maybe that's not right, but
no, just self-indulgent. That's
but it's
all.
right
I wouldn't
for
say
me.
selfish, just self-indulgent.
It sounds awesome in the ears if you're running an ear pack, you know. It sounds big and wide, especially when you're just like slamming chords, you know, like. It's just it just adds that width that I really like. And I play with other guitar players, but sometimes I'm the only player. And so adding the Juliana just kind of adds a little bit of width to the band sound, and I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
You get to move across the stereo field.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not marked, it's D1, because sometimes when you work at a pedal company, the D1s are back ordered, and so you build one from a scrap enclosure. So this is a scrap enclosure one, whereas a misprint, and they forgot to print the D1 on there. So that's the D1 that I get.
I guess, so what do you care, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I
you
don't
know what
care.
it is.
Yeah, and so I've got, what is this? This is on the digital setting, which means it's digital delay. And then I've got some of the highs rolled off just a little bit on that. And you can take the tone and change all that, and you can add some age and modulation. I have a little bit of modulation on it, but and then but I kind of vacillate between 3 presets, and so I've got this one's called Blue.
Okay.
And it is, I think it's the vintage delay.
Okay, but it's very blue.
Yeah, and it's like just 2 repeats. I don't want a whole lot. I like that kind of that muted, and I like it on reverbs too. I just love to roll the highs off of the delays, and I like to roll the highs off of the the reverbs, because I like kind of like a long tail or a long story, if you will, after what I'm playing. But then with the high frequency is still incorporated into the wet side, you kind of get your pick attack and some of that ugliness, and it starts to compete with what you're trying to move on to.
Right. Well, and the other thing is too, you've got you like a lot of top end on your sound anyway. You know, like a nice bright, crisp sound. Which it sounds great, but it's just so I could see where a brighter delay and verb would definitely get in the way.
So, still going. I think that's the air setting on the R1, but hence the air sound. Yeah. And then, and so I've got on the delay, I've got these 3 presets that I love. I've showed you that one, and then the green is kind of my digital delay when you just want like the. Kind of that just bouncy, marchy delay that is appropriate for verses and inappropriate for choruses, in my opinion. It's like cool for the verse, but like if you're still doing it in the chorus,
you're behind.
You got to get out of here, dude. You got to kick on the quarters for the chorus, which is cool because in this MC6, the Morning Star, I have that programmed where I can do that. But then when I kick onto I can go to quarters. It's harder to do it when there's not a drummer here. But I love dotted eighths on verses, switching over to quarters when you're hitting the chorus, or just kicking the delay off, because if you're playing a banging chorus, you just kind of I just take delay off and I just keep the reverb on. A lot of the time.
Yeah, if it's already big anyway.
Right. You know, it's like nobody can hear your delay. So, and then you got the Walrus. I got the R1 over here, and I've got these fun 3 presets. I have a different screen in here for those. I've got this big, kind of large. So a lot of high end in that one, which is cool. And then this is kind of a longer tail one with not as much. And then I've got this green one that I forget what it is. So let's find out. Oh, it's just short. Just that's plate. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. I should use that one more often.
You should.
I'm glad I came here.
You forgot all about it.
Yeah, that's a good
How did you
sound.
forget about that?
So, then you kick the drop on. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And then I've got the ACS one at the end there. Yeah. And I am running the Fullerton with the one that's appropriate for like a Fender Twin cab. Yeah. And it's kind of that Fender-y, just kind of round sound. I run the room. I can't remember because it's on a preset, but I don't run it that high. But
Yeah.
that's cool, though. It's that's
Yeah.
a pretty big room. It's not an ISO cab. I run it down here, probably. Just kind of lets it not feel so dead, kind of widens
So
it out.
immediate,
Yeah, so somebody could actually be like, oh, that amp sounds really good. You know, if your room's down here, it's for sure like, hey, it's an amp cab sim, bro. But if you run the room up here, sounds believable.
That's right. It's questionable at that point. It's like, is it?
Yeah, totally. And what I like about it is I was kind of against it for a long time, and then but we were just borrowing so many awesome manufacturers amp cab sims for NAMM and for trade shows. And then one name I was like, we're just gonna make our own cab sim so we can use our own stuff whenever we demo pedals and do headphones and all those kind of things. So we dropped the ACS one, and then even then I was like, I'm not putting it on my board. But then Jason at Walrus, he's a tone wizard, and he found some awesome settings that really changed my mind. And I was like, okay, I can get into that. And then when I travel or I go somewhere, the amp always sounds the same. It's like the amp is never the problem.
That's never the question. Yeah, you don't have that to lean back on
the
anymore.
rectifier tube is having an issue. I gotta go to the local music store and find something. I don't have to do that. That's awesome.
Now, because there it is. Yeah.
So,
that's been adopted by a lot of people, as you well know. But,
yeah.
Yeah, it's killer.
It's been awesome. But and then it goes into the front of house, and then you make music. But that's the board. I've got this. Sela quartz for keeping time, so the drummer doesn't get mad at me when I have delays on. It really helps just clean it up. You know, when you're playing with other people. And, but yeah, that's it, man. Strobe.
And the strobo stomp, yeah.
I mean, freaking love that thing.
I hear you.
It is, it's cool. I wasn't into the strobe method until we just had one at the shop, and I needed a tuner, and I was like, I'll put it on there. And then I started using it, and I was like, I am getting some really good tunes lately. Like, it's just really in tune. I love it. So,
and you can't be too in tune.
Yeah, you really can't.
I mean, you can't. It's not really possible.
So let me tune up so I can kick my vibrato pedal on. So whatever. But I really like it. It's pretty great. So
man,
that's the setup, man. That's what's on my board.
Well, it sounds freaking great, dude. And it's always good to see, like because it's always about workflow, right? You know, when somebody's pedal board, it's like you chose these things and you put them in this order and you use them in this way for this reason. It's just to kind of like get out what you're trying to get out. And I love the way you use ambience. That's really nice, man. Just listening to you play right now, seriously.
Yeah.
I love the way you use that in general. And then again, you always and when you said, I leave the compressor on all the time, I was like, really? That's interesting. But then watching you play and listening to the way you do the thing, it makes total sense, man.
Yeah.
It really does. Nice, man.
Well,
very nice.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Colt.
it.
Thank you, man. All right.
Party on.
Indeed, indeed. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you have any questions about any of these pedals, or if you have any questions about Colt, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or check us out at sweetwater.com. Thanks.